stay positioned, kind of funny for the time being. Okay. If you saw the warning that we're being live streamed, so if you don't want to be seen in some parts of the world, then this is not the place for you. It's interesting. We were over in Key West about 2 months or so ago, and there was a woman there from someplace like Kazakhstan or something, and my wife was having a very interesting conversation with her. So I took out my phone and I want to try to record, the conversation. And she saw that and pleaded with us to delete that, because if her identity was spotted someplace in a different part of the world, it could mean serious trouble for her or her family. So it's I say it kind of jokingly here, but for some people, that is no joke at all. It's a real thing. It can be a matter of life and death for some people. And of course, privacy concerns are what they are. So that's the reason why Zoom and YouTube make sure everyone is notified when they come on that it is being live streamed. So govern yourself accordingly. So we're going to have a brief meeting tonight, because I think there's some other meetings that are going on. So there may be a little bit of a conflict here with our discussion for tonight, and that's completely understandable. And everyone who's here now is familiar with our program and our products. But I'd like to do something now. I'd like to just kind of think in terms of, okay, the month is about to come to an end. This is the month of May. So in the deep recesses of your mind, who is it that you know that really needs to know about Microdaily? Who needs to know about one of the amazing stories that has been told about these incredible products? We're all convinced. Yeah, everybody. But what I'm talking about now is think in terms of somebody that you know has never heard about it, and that for some reason you've been holding back on telling them about it. Well, this is like the perfect opportunity to make sure that that person knows about it. Now, send them a link to one of the recordings, and that's a great way to introduce people to the product. And the recordings that you want to go with is always going to be, in my opinion, one of the testimonials. Bernardine has said it a couple of times. Facts, hell, it's stories that really resonate with people. And I think about my own personal story. I was not in the least bit interested in any kind of a product. That's not at all what I wanted, was any kind of a product. I was not interested in products. I had products that were great. I had products that changed my wife's life. I had products that made me feel good. I had products that I saw literally helping people who had serious problems. There was one gentleman who needed a treatment. His treatment was going to involve removing his entire esophagus and taking his stomach and moving it up. They had no other option. The lesions and issues that he had in his esophagus was not reconciling. There was no treatment that was helping him. Nothing. His mother-in-law suggested that he give us a call. So we put him on a nutritional supplement that was so good that just by changing his diet, that's all we're talking about. We're not talking about any kind of a treatment or a cure or anything like that. But just by changing the man's diet, basically, by the way, he could not swallow anything thicker than water. Wow. So this nutrition that he was consuming had to be really watered down. But he was taking quite a bit of it throughout the day. No matter what he ate, it just came right back up, because he had something that was growing that was blocking anything from being able to go down into his stomach. In 1 week, he was swallowing normally and able to eat normally in 1 week. 3 weeks later, his doctors declared him cancer-free. So now we never told him that he was going to be, that his esophageal cancer was going to go away, because, who knows that, right? Because you can't really predict what's going to happen to a person. But that's the story he told. Then 1 week later, his wife actually shared the story But I still remember the day that he called and said, will this nutrition repair my stomach? And so this is a firsthand story. Now, this is not what I'm hearing hearsay. This happened directly with me and one of my clients. He says, will the supplements repair my stomach? I said, wait a minute, Richard, what's wrong with your stomach? He said, it's not working. The radiation damaged my stomach. I said, what radiation? He said, well, the doctors convinced me that to make sure that all of the problem was gone, they needed to use radiation to make sure everything was gone. I said, they were the ones that told you that they had to cut the esophagus out and move your stomach up. You didn't think maybe to call and ask, somebody on the team for an opinion? He said, well, they scared me. And it almost came out of my mouth. They killed you. Because I knew that there was no nutritional supplement that was going to repair the damage that was done to his the epithelial of his gut. It was not going to be corrected. And sure enough, in about, I guess, 6 weeks or so, he pretty much starved to death. Is what happened. A man who had been declared by his doctors to be cancer-free was treated for cancer, and he was not able to survive whatever whole experience that he was going through. So I got to be real, cautious here that that it's clear that you're not being given the impression that conventional treatment can cause a problem. So please make sure that you understand that I'm not trying to make that claim. But anyway, he didn't survive his entire experience with what the doctors declared to be esophageal cancer. So, having said that, I'm saying this, and this is just seeing some nutritional supplement that was as powerful as it was. I saw those kinds of things that got that kind of result with a nutritional supplement. The last thing I want to hear about was another product. But what got my attention? What got my attention was a fact that Micro Daily, MMF at the time, had been issued a patent for the treatment of diabetes. That got my attention. And then the testimonials that backed it up. That's what got my attention. So that's the reason why I say don't spend so much time trying to convince people of a bunch of facts. Because in the mind of a person who's being told a bunch of facts, what are they basically in the back of their mind saying? Blah, 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 blah. You ever get that feeling that that's what people are thinking when you're trying to tell them something? You don't get that feeling? I get that feeling a lot. That they're just saying, yeah, I know it. What doesn't it cure? What doesn't it this? What doesn't it that? So identifying the testimonial that may do that person the most good. For example, I don't mean to put you on the spot, Sheila Lively, but can I put you on the spot? You still with us, Sheila? Is it okay to put you on the spot for a hot second? Okay, Sheila may have had to step away for a minute, and that's okay. That's okay. What about Marie Houston? Can I put you on the spot for a minute, Marie?
Why not? Sure.
Okay.
These products really worked for me. They changed my life.
And that's what I'm trying to say right now. See, because there may be someone here right now that has never really heard anything about what these kinds of products can do. So I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you to do a couple things. First of all, describe, basically itemize all of the issues that your doctors told you that you had and all the issues that you knew that you were experiencing. So tell us about that first.
Okay. Well, I have type 2 diabetes. My number A1C went from 6.3 down to 5.8. My sugars used to run well over 200 most mornings. Now they're 110, 120, they're low. And I also have rheumatoid arthritis. And I mean, that was very painful. It was so many things that I could not do, like simply brushing my teeth, combing my hair. And I had to have therapists come twice a week and a nurse, to help me through that. I was on that methotrexate, a very high risk drug that they use for chemo. And my doctor, I showed her the products that I was taking, and she says, well, these are some good nutrients, and we're gonna ease you off of that methotrexate. And I would have to go and get my blood checked like every 8 weeks. I no longer have to do any of that. And I have hypertension. It used to run like 150 or maybe a little higher sometimes. Now my numbers are down to like 120, 125. Sometimes it may get up to about 135, but that's good. My primary doctor, she took me off of the hydrochlorothiazide and the glipizide that I was taking for my diabetes. I was taken off of 4 medications, also the folic acid with that methotrexate. So that's 4 pills that I no longer have to take. And I mean, I started the products in November, and the first thing I noticed was this energy that I had, because I used to catch it going up and down my steps. It's about 13, 14 steps that I have to go up and down. And I noticed I was getting on up them steps and coming on down them without any effort at all. And I mean, I just feel like a new person. And it's hard. I mean, these products are great. They changed my life. I'm 72 years old, and I just have all this energy. I used to not even be able to go in my kitchen and cook me a meal. I'd have to take a chair and sit down while I was trying to cook. And then that was with great difficulty because my right hand, it just didn't want to work. The fingers would be twirling and all of that and pain. And but now I don't have that. It's just like it's gone, and this is just since November. And I can't say enough what these products have done. It's just amazing. And even some of the people that I've told about it, I even gave some of my products to different ones just to let them try. Even last week, this lady, she's in her 80s. It's 2 ladies that were in their 80s. And they were on walkers and scooters. And the lady called me and told me, she said, Marie, what is in those products? Because I gave her some, the EMF, and I gave her the probiotic and some collagen. I gave them both that. And the lady said her family would have to help her out of bed in the mornings because she had such bad hip problems. The lady told me, she said, hey, that scooter and that wheelchair is in the basement now. She said, I got in my car. Both of them say they got in their cars, drove to the grocery store, went in there, didn't need nobody to bring them a riding cart. She said she walked and just shopped like she wanted to. And then she said, I want to order those products. And they both are on them right now. And it's just amazing. They do work. I mean, they work. And not only them, others have called me and told me the same thing. And it's more that are really interested in the products right now. So, hey, they work. Just give it a try. Just try it. I mean, this was after 3 days that those 2 ladies called me And she said her kids, they're skeptical because she's up walking around. They're thinking she may fall. And she said they come over in the morning and check her out. She said she just sit there because she don't want to hear it from them. And, oh, I'm fine. And then when they leave, she said she get up and do whatever she wants to do. Okay. She don't even let them see it. But I say, let them see, But she is just amazed with these
Wow.
products. I can't
Wow.
stress enough what they do.
Marie, that's pretty remarkable. And thank you for sharing that. And you mentioned that these two women were in their 80s. My mother-in-law is 92. And just last week, and we were up there for a long time. And I saw the pain that my mother-in-law was experiencing. And finally, I was able to convince my sister-in-laws to increase the amount of microdaily that she was taking. And she now says that my sister-in-law doesn't volunteer information, but she said out of the blue, she says, yeah, mom is getting up on her own now. She doesn't need any help getting to the bathroom anymore. So she's walking around much more than before and less shakiness at 92.
Yeah,
So,
wow.
So this is interesting. So tell me now, the product that you're using the EMF?
Yes, and this is it. I only take 3 of the EMFs in the morning, 3 in the evening. I used to just take 1 probiotic, but now I do a probiotic in the evening also. And I take the collagen. I love my collagen. And I just put that in my coffee, stir it up. And I even use the hazelnut. Maybe that's not good, but I love it. And I drink it on down, and it don't affect my sugars escalating them either.
Wow.
And I do the brain boost, the eye boost. As a matter of fact, with the eye boost, I had gotten to where I didn't drive at night because I noticed myself kind of bumping curves. So I said, it's time to give it up at night. But now the clarity on the road, I can see that yellow and white lines very clearly and make my turns. And it just, and even the TV, when I look at it, I can read it without my glasses. So I said, wow, this stuff is amazing. And I just love sharing it with people, and a lot of times I'll tell them about it, but I don't just keep bugging them and bugging them. I say, hey, I'm going to let you try a few of them. And you just tell me what you think. And after 3 days, 3 people have told me that they worked for them in that little bit of time. And I gave them like what I would take, 3 of the EMF in the morning. I told them 3 in the evening. Don't forget your water, and make sure you get some kind of olive oil or coconut oil in before you even do the nutrients, and or a piece of sausage or bacon, just as long as you get some fat in there for them to grip. And they are just amazed. And I see more and more people coming. It's amazing. And I have a new lease on life.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And it really gets us excited to hear it, especially the impact on diabetes. All the other things are phenomenal. But the impact on diabetes to me is quite personal. So I'm glad to hear that. Now, you said you started in November of 2022.
Yes.
And up until right now, are you still taking the same 3 capsules of EMF twice a day?
Yeah. Now, sometimes I'll up it to 4 and 4, but because I've been giving away my products. So I just wanted people to try them. Trying to convince some people is pretty, especially family members, it's kind of rough. And so I gave them some. I said, just try it. And they called me all amazed. And, they see how I've changed also. They work. That's all I can say. And then I did go to my therapist the other day, chiropractor, just for him to check me out. And
Mhm.
I took all my products there with me. And he looked at them, he looked at the collagen, he started naming stuff that I hear us talking about. And then the EMF, I took some gummies with me, all of that. And he said, hey, this is some good stuff here. He said, in between me and the little exercises I take you through and those products, hey, you're going to be fine. Now, this was just yesterday he told me this. Yesterday. And then I had a new container of the gummies. So he opened them up. He said, do you mind if I have a few? I said, hey, get what you want. And he sit there and grabbed some, a handful. He ate a couple of them right then and there. Then when I was checking out, the ladies at the desk, I had kind of mentioned them to them too. They got some of the gummies and was chewing on them. So, what can I say? Oh, I mean, these are great products. Great products.
This is very nice to hear. Now, let me just ask you another question on this. You've mentioned here that you have focused on getting people to try the product. How much explanation about glutathione and oxidative stress are you giving to these same people?
Kind of explain that to me a little more, what you just asked me.
Okay, so you're not really telling them a whole lot about glutathione and oxidative stress.
No, I just tell them try them.
Okay, now
what it does for you. But you know what? The therapist mentioned that oxidative stress to me.
Okay.
He did.
Okay, yeah. So you didn't go telling them all the science. You got one person out of all of these people that finally just discussed some science with you. So I'm saying that to say to everyone, it's fine. Bring your prospects and your guests here, and we'll present to them the reasons why the product works, the science behind the way the product works. But if you're going to introduce it to someone, what Marie is doing is either the first or the second most powerful way to do it. It's probably the first most powerful way to do it because now the person themselves is becoming a testimonial. Now, many of these folks have seen Marie's story. So she's a living example of her story. So that's a testimonial by itself. Then the person that you give the samples to, they become their own personal story. They become their own testimonial long before they even understand how the product works. And so she's got people who sign up to become preferred customers and they don't know the first thing about glutathione.
Nope.
And y'all heard it. Marie just asked me, she said, now repeat what you just said.
I've heard these terms, but to break it down like you do, no, I can't do that. And hey, let them try them. It speaks for themselves. And then I invite different ones into Zooms, and they've listened in on the Zooms also, and they become convinced.
There you go. Thank you very much for allowing me to pick on you, Marie.
Pick on me anytime. I don't mind talking about this good stuff. Not at all.
That's exactly it, and that's powerful. And we're going to share this with other folks. Exactly, what you just said today. We're going to push this out to a lot of people. A lot of people. In fact, everything that you just said there, this will update it. So folks will get your most current story. In fact, I had somebody on YouTube just last week and said, can you tell us a new testimony? Give us a new testimony. We need to hear somebody new. So if they're on right now, they just heard the update of your story. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. You're quite welcome. I just want to help people. That's my goal. Help all that I can.
What part of the country do you live in?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati. Yes, that's right. That's right. And who was it that introduced you to the product again?
Miss Roberta Rice.
Yeah. See, Roberta Rice.
Testimony herself.
Yeah, well, she had that knee that blew up like a melon.
Right.
and the pain that she was going through.
Oh, yeah.
So, so there you have it, folks. And that's the reason why I want to challenge everybody here is to tomorrow's the last day of the month. Who can you send a story to tonight and get them to commit to trying the product tomorrow? Okay. Send them a testimonial, maybe even Marie's. You've got this recording right now. Just go to my YouTube channel, youtubejonathan.com, and you can take this story and you can say that it starts right at about the 25-minute mark. So maybe 25 minutes is about when she started telling her story. So you can say that's about where it begins. So tell them to start right there and listen to Marie's story. And I would venture to say that there's not too many people that won't want to at least try to experience what Marie just said that she experienced. Don't be thinking in terms of sending people the entire hour-long discussions. What I often do, because it takes a few days before we trim off the front of it, where there's, just the introductions and everything, we trim all that off. But what I often would tell people to do is just listen to the first 10 or 15 minutes of the presentation. You know why? Because almost every single one of our meetings, we start off with one of the testimonials. And generally speaking, if a person will listen to the first 10 or 15 minutes, now they've got the option to listen longer if they want to. If that's enough, if it has given them a compelling enough reason to listen further, by the time they come back to you, the only question they want answered now is, how do I get some of that stuff? And in fact, this is Tuesday. Sunday, this Sunday gone, Dolores Levat. Dolores Levat is Diamond 30. So that means that she's the top earner at the highest position. She's maxed out the compensation plan for as far as customers are concerned. She's maxed out the compensation plan on customers. So she makes 30% commission on all of her customers. And she said the same thing. She said all she had to do is get folks to the meeting this past Sunday, and she's already closed people who were there this past Sunday. So get them started, expose them to one of the presentations, and you're looking at somewhere between 90 and 95% close rate. And Dolores said it in one of our training sessions. She says 9 out of 10 of all of her clients have become preferred customers after listening to these presentations and to testimonials. 9 out of 10. She says they may not buy that day or the next day. She says, but every time they eventually become a customer, every one of them, 9 out of 10, she says. So you want to have that kind of a track record, focus on that. So today, identify someone today that you know can benefit from this testimonial that Marie just shared tonight. And by tomorrow, you should be able to get them to become a preferred customer to try the product. So I've been working on about 4 or 5 of them myself since yesterday. And I expect 2 of them will close out tonight. And I do expect maybe another half a dozen sometime tomorrow. So I'm in full court press mode. I think people need to know about this and need to know what we have. So now here's the $1 million question. What is it that we have? What is the big deal? What's going on? So, well, it's actually very simple. It's the United States government decided that they wanted a vitamin, a supplement to give the soldiers on the battlefield optimal health. That was the objective, optimal health. Now, that may sound very noble and it may sound like that's a wonderful thing, but if you're a thinking person, like I tend to be sometimes, the question I ask is, why weren't they developing that kind of a thing for me and for my mother and for my aunts and for my grandmother? The only reason this came about was because they want soldiers on the battlefield to feel better. They didn't care about the mothers and the grandmothers and the aunties out there that were in pain. They didn't care about the Marie Houstons that were in pain. Personally, I just feel to myself, I get a little bit, distressed over that. But that's neither here nor there. But it should help you to understand the uniqueness of what you have right now, the uniqueness of what we have access to, right now. It was never intended for the civilian public. Never. But we got it now. We got it now. All right. And so this month, Jeff is here and he's got a screenshot of the special that's going on this month. And I'm encouraging everybody to just jump all over this this special offer that Engage has put out there. So you just take a look at that. If you buy 2 CBD boosts, you get 1 free. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm personally going to do the math and calculate how many I can get based on the amount of available credit I have on my emergency credit card. Because in my personal opinion, it's going to take a long time for the interest to accrue to $77 times however many of them I'm going to buy. Because you get those low interest and no interest credit cards. So, and I think I have one that's still maybe 0% interest for a year or something like that. So I intend to snatch up as many of those as I can, because that represents a saving of $77. Now, before you say to yourself, what's the big deal with that? Show that one more time, Jeff, because there's a word on there that I want everybody to see. Above the word CBD, do you see the 3 words above CBD? Somebody read those out, please. Somebody just unmute and read those 3 words above CBD.
Pure CBD isolate.
Well, everybody must have gone to sleep or something. Did y'all have CBD?
Pure CBD isolate.
Oh, okay. Joyce saw it. Marie saw it. Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
Now, underline the word pure, because Dr. Prasad just this past Sunday said it has been completely purified, number 1. And then Jeff dropped a bomb on us that most of us had never heard before. It's all connected to that word isolate. Now, Jeff, go ahead, repeat the significance of that word isolate.
Yeah. So having represented other companies with CBD, there's nothing like this out there. We have an exclusive with the manufacturer on this. Dr. Prasad's parameters say he wants an isolate, not a full spectrum, not a broad spectrum, not an oil suspended, not a liposomal soluble. He wants an isolate. If you were to look at our capsules, open them up, it looks like white powder. They're actually little clear crystals. That's how pure it is. This is an isolate from the hemp plant. And so you don't run into the situation of having any THC because of the purity that is there. Now, Dr. Prasad did confirm that depending upon who is running the drug test, they may be looking for the molecules of CBD versus THC. So we have no control over that. But with the prescription, even those that are working heavy machinery and over-the-road truckers and those who need to, be drug tested regularly with a prescription, they're absolutely guaranteed that this is pure CBD isolate.
Mm-hmm.
So. And Jonathan, what you just said, we're seeing it today. We're seeing almost a $20,000 day with people buying this, and we're doing the same thing. It's just, where else can you go and save that amount of money times however many 3-packs you want to get?
That's like money in the bank.
Yeah. I've got people out there that are wanting to buy as many as 10 of these 3-packs. I mean, it's $1,500, but look at, they're going to save how much? I mean, it's $76.99 times 10.
That's almost $800 savings. So come on.
Yeah.
And there's your supply for the next, for however long you use it. I have Joanna taking it now. So she's taking 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. And I take at least 1, maybe 2 a day also. So there's no question from our point of view, we're going through it. And I just want everybody to understand the significance of this particular opportunity, because while you're figuring out who you care about and who it is that you should be informing about these products, while you're thinking about that, this is also a huge opportunity for them to grab a hold of this. They need this. Now, ask yourself why. What is the next reason why they need this? Oh, by the way, before I tell you that, Dr. Prasad said, along the same line of that isolate point, he said the full spectrum CBDs, about 95 grams out of 100 is useless. He says, so a 10 milligrams of the pure CBD isolate is more powerful than 100 milligrams of a full spectrum, because 95% of it is nothing.
Yep.
So this is like a concentrate. Okay. It's a CBD concentrate. That's why it works so good. I was quite frankly shocked. I had been using CBD for probably 4 or 5 years prior to this, at least 4 or 5 years. I was completely shocked at how powerful it was compared to the tinctures that I had been using before.
Yeah.
No comparison.
Nope. Just open those capsules. I mean, if you want to take it like a tincture, open those capsules, let them dissolve right underneath your tongue. It's certainly not a bad taste, if any taste, and absolutely amazing. It's part of our first aid kits. It's that important to just have it in every car and every medicine cabinet. It's just for pain relief. Who knows what will happen down the road as it's more difficult and more difficult to get prescription medications. This is a go-to that helps in so many different ways. Earlier today during Lunch and Learn, I just shared a little bit out of our science booklet. I'm going to just pull it up here on the screen here with us. And, Jonathan, I'll just read this if it's okay. I'll go full screen for everybody. Humans have an endocannabinoid system, ECS, designed to fight neurological inflammation and protect our body. The purpose of the ECS is to maintain a healthy biological balance within our body's major systems. Okay, that's just setting the playing field. Okay, so we understand the ECS system of our body is that important. However, the next paragraph, our ECS, our endocannabinoid system does not always function at optimal levels, especially as we age. This can lead to difficulty regulating a healthy mood, poor sleep, increased inflammation and pain, as well as an overall reduction in immune health. Yes, this also helps boost your immune system. You and Dr. Prasad have done an amazing job talking about CBD and the spike protein. So it is amazing that we have access to these types of things, Jonathan, and that's right out of our science booklet, where everybody can send a copy of that to someone else and utilize it. In fact, we've been using your call from Super Bowl Sunday and just sending that link out to individuals and say, have people watch this about CBD and then follow up with them. I mean, I even, because of what you just said, going into a video a certain amount of times. In fact, you can go into 3 minutes and 17 seconds and pick up Freddie's testimony right there. 3 minutes and 17 seconds to 11 minutes.
Yep.
And then if you want to go to 32 minutes and 32 seconds in, you've got Sharon's testimony, and Sharon from 32:32 to 38:38.
Barbara.
And out of the park. So yeah, definitely.
Did you get Barbara's testimony at the end?
I did not get that one. So Barbara's is when? I mean, hers.
It's toward the end. I forget the exact minute marker on it, but I need to go in there and look at that. But Barbara Atkins is toward the end. Wow. It was a bonus. It popped up. She had lost a child, and she couldn't live without it. She was taking like five CBD every 2 or 3 hours or so. And she says the only thing that made her maintain her sanity, and it got her off. I think she said she got off Xanax and several other psychotropic drugs to cope.
Well, I'm going to go in and look that up, pull it out, find the minute marker on it, and in 10 minutes when Dr. Prasad is on talking about the Havana syndrome with Dr. Court and Jonette. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll put a little piece right there at the end of it for everybody. But
Excellent.
this
Excellent.
is the time, you guys, to just dig deep, go into your budget, and say, you know what, I don't know that they're ever going to do a special like this again, because
I don't see it. And I think it took some arm twisting for Robin to agree to it, and then for Brenda to agree to it still was even more amazing, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm going to definitely we're maxing out whatever credit card space that we have to do this.
we just need to get this word out to everybody. I mean, we need more people on this call, and more people on the next call. In fact, I think we're going to do a special call tomorrow night.
Oh, good.
It's a Wednesday night. We typically have Dr. Prasad on, either the first, second, third, or fourth Wednesday. Well, tomorrow night is a fifth Wednesday, and I think it all ought to be about CBD and
That's
the
a bonus.
testimonials, and just kind of getting people just realizing what a month of miracles that May is turning out to be because of this special. Yes,
indeed. And I think everybody needs to understand something. I'm going to share the screen real quick, because there's folks that are saying to themselves, well, I don't have depression, and well, I don't have anxiety issues. That doesn't really apply to me. But I'm here to tell you, just Jeff mentioned it, and to reiterate the point, just take a quick look here. There have now been clinical studies done. This is PubMed now. This is the official library of all medical documents housed by the United States government. PubMed.gov. That's where you have to go. PubMed.gov. And you see the search expression I put in there? I just put in the words CBD and SARS. Look at the topics. There's studies about COVID-19 and CBD, or cannabidiol. These studies have shown, in a couple places you see it here, that it binds to the spike protein. It inhibits what the spike protein and its toxicity is trying to do. Now, it doesn't care where the spike protein came from. I hope that you're understanding that. This is not specifically saying that it came from the COVID-19 full-blown protein. It binds to the spike protein. Now, the spike protein, there's other studies that are showing that there are some things that's not necessarily that good that the spike protein is trying to do, while it's doing what it's supposed to do as far as helping a person's immune system to be able to identify the virus itself. There's also some downside, a little bit of side effects that's coming from it. So this binds to the S1 spike protein, no matter where it comes from, and basically helps protect or reduce anything that you don't want to start happening. So there it is. You can do the search yourself on this and see every single one of us can benefit from this. So there's a positive upside benefit to putting the CBD in your body, no matter who you are and no matter what your circumstance is. Okay. All right. So there we have it, folks. You just heard a mouthful. We got Marie's Houston's amazing story, and we're going to share that. That will be available. Let's see. Some of you folks are not. Well, you got it here on this recording. So just go right to the minute marker of it, and you can just share this with whoever you need to share it with. That's a powerful story. And then you can, from that point on, you can now use the rest of it along with what Jeff just shared with us, the power of the CBD, the fact that it's an isolate. It's like concentrated CBD. Dr. Prasad insisted on a unique product. It is unique. It's not the same old. So this is the one that you want to make sure that you go ahead and just rack up as much of it as you possibly can. And by the way, the special is over tomorrow night. So this is the last opportunity to grab it. Buy two, get one free. $77 savings. Buy two, get one free. Okay. So let's see if there's any questions there before we wrap up our discussion. Now we're just about ready to pull the plug because we got another meeting that's coming up really quickly now. Any additional questions before we finish off? Because sometimes a question will pop up, come to mind just before we pull the plug. And it looks like there's no questions this time. Does that mean we covered all the bases? We covered all the
I have a
bases?
question.
Okay. Your name, please?
This is Sheila Jonathan.
Sheila, we're trying to get your attention earlier, but go ahead,
I
Sheila.
know, I got distracted here. Sorry about that.
Nope.
I wanted to know, okay, so I was listening and I already know about opening up the EMF capsules and doing them sublingually and even the CBD. But the question is, if someone has and I think Jeff addressed this at one point, if someone has a toothache, would it be better for them to use the CBD, break open the capsule for the pain, or use the EMF?
I would alternate, to be honest with you. I would alternate, but the micro daily would benefit like right away.
Okay.
Micro daily would benefit right away, but I would probably alternate. The benefits of micro.
My mom has a toothache. She just told me a couple of days ago she's had a toothache for like a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pack the CBD. I mean the micro daily right around it, and the pain will probably start to go down immediately.
Okay.
And reduce the inflammation. To kill the bacteria, you might use some peroxide.
Yeah, she's familiar with those old school remedies. So
yeah. But don't overdo it with the peroxide because there's some good bacteria that you need to not destroy in the mouth.
Oh,
that can lead to other health problems. Like right now, they've got the recommendation of they recommend that we use like a mouthwash, right? Mm-hmm. And especially an antiseptic mouthwash. Well, guess what? Nitrates combine with certain bacteria on our tongue to create all kinds of good reactions in the rest of the body, including the production of nitric oxide. So if you kill off all the bacteria in your mouth, bye-bye nitric oxide. Hello, heart disease.
Wow. Oh, okay. Wow.
So be careful with going too hard with the peroxide. So I would use it kind of as a temporary stopgap, and then make sure that you stay on the probiotic boost to not and eat as much green leafy vegetables as possible. So let's say a person has made that mistake and they've destroyed their oral microbiome.
Mm-hmm.
The more probiotic boost you can put in your gut and the more green leafy foods you can put in your gut, the better the chances are of your body now producing the natural nitric oxide that it's supposed to.
Oh my. Okay. Well, that's
it's huge. Yeah, it's huge.
That's really huge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. Okay. All right. I'll let her know. She's on all of the products, and she, I just have to guide her because she had some other health challenges. She had a minor stroke, and then she was doing cancer treatments prior. So I'll definitely pass that on to her. Thank you.
Very good. Let us know how it turns out. Okay.
I sure will. Thank you. And I'll be alert next time.
That's all right. Yeah, because we want to hear your story next week. So
okay.
Because that hip story that you shared has been still kind of amazing.
Thank you.
It's been amazing. But James, you have the last word on this.
Yes. I gave him a couple of samples of EMF because he's been in a lot of pain. He got a bad sore on his backside. And so his daughter told me today he went to the doctor and the doctor said, well, your sore is getting better. Your leg swelling, going down. So she said, well, it's it's got to be the water pills. I said, no, that's not it. I said, the EMF, that's the way it works. You might not know how it works, but that's the result of it.
Wow.
She came in today and ordered the 3-pack of CBD because he wanted that. Some fucker that you gotta have enough to put in your body to see more results.
Wow. That's powerful. That's powerful. Thank you very much, James, for sharing that story. Interesting. Yeah, it's got some serious healing properties. So folks have been saying that. And let's see, one last question here. Sharon says, do we have a more update on cancer and radiation treatment? Good question, Sharon. Dr. Prasad, the last discussion we had with Dr. Prasad on cancer is on my YouTube channel. I'll send you a link to that because there's a couple of testimonials in there that may be of some use to you. There's a woman there out of Albany, Georgia, that went through chemo, breast cancer, chemo, and radiation. And she said she went through it with flying colors, taking Micro Daily. So I think the last cancer discussion we had with Prasad might be of some value to you there. Okay. So, but let me know. Keep me posted on that. But I'll send you the link to that story. Okay.
Jonathan, can you put it? Will you put it in the chat?
Yeah, actually, I probably can. Let me just get that real
Thanks.
quick here. I was about to pull a plug on this. I can find it super quick. I think it can be super quick because I have an idea of exactly how to find it. So 1 second here.
Thank you, Jonathan. Great call.
Thank you, and thank you guys very much for showing up. Meet the challenge, folks. Meet the challenge. We got till tomorrow, so find somebody that you care about, and find some space on one of your credit cards and take advantage of that CBD boost special right now. But more importantly than that, find someone that can benefit from Micro Daily right now, and don't push them into sometime later on down the road. You want to get them in right now. This is close the month out strong. Close the month out strong. Finish and hit it hard. Okay, I think I got it right here in the chat. This is the one I have. That's the latest one on cancer. So that's a link that you guys can copy. And I believe that Dr. Prasad is in that one. That was one of his PowerPoint presentations. I've got one here that I did an editorial on it afterward. I think maybe a week or so later, or on the one prior to that. So I'm going to give you that one also. Oh, I think this was the one in between. So you're getting them kind of in reverse order right now. So the first link is kind of part 3. The second link was my editorial that I did on Dr. Prasad's discussion from the very first week. And this one that I'm putting in here right now is really part 1. So this is really, in actuality, part 1. So you got really part 1, part 2, and part 3, or in reverse. And someone asked about sarcoidosis. I just recently heard someone talk about sarcoidosis. Sarcoidosis, Joyce Lane. I don't remember exactly who. Check with Jeff. Jeff, I think, has a specific sarcoidosis story, Joyce Lane. But you can also go to my YouTube channel and you can search there. YouTubeJonathan.com takes you directly to my channel. YouTubeJonathan.com takes you directly there, and see if sarcoidosis comes up. I don't remember putting specifically anyone in there for sarcoidosis, a topic for it, but check with Jeff. He may have a testimony on that, okay? All right, everybody. Y'all have a good night. See you I won't be around this weekend. Jeff and Dr. Prasad are going to be doing Sunday. Jeff and Dr. Prasad, we're going to be doing Sunday. It's all about the gut and the brain. That's what's coming up this coming Sunday. Jeff and Dr. Prasad this coming Sunday. This weekend, I'm in conference. I have a convention this entire weekend. So Thursday and Friday will be for anyone in my group also. So I'll send that message out through the back office for everyone. So next time I'll see you guys will be next week on Tuesday. But Jeff and Dr. Prasad will be this coming Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys have a good night. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much.
All right. Good night, John.
Bye. Good night.
Good night. Thank you so much. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Enjoy your convention.
Everyone have a good evening.